We have a rubber match tonight on Sunday Night Baseball between the Dodgers and the Padres. For the Dodgers on the mound, we have Julio Urias, and for the Padres, we have Joe Musgrove, the right-hander. Taking a look at the starting lineups, we have Mookie Betts leading things off in right field. Freddie Freeman's playing first base, batting second. Will Smith's doing the catching, batting third. Max Muncy goes back up to the cleanup spot, and he's at third base. Jason Hayward's going to be DHing. He's batting fifth. James Outman's in center field, batting sixth. Miguel Vargas will be at second base. Then David Peralta will be in left field, and Chris Taylor rounds things off for the Dodgers at shortstop. Looking at the Padres lineup, we have the same top four we've seen the last few nights. Fernando Tatis Jr. is going to be in right field. Manny Machado will be at third base. Juan Soto will be in left field. Xander Bogaerts will be shortstop. Nelson Cruz is going to be DHing, batting fifth. Jake Cronenworth will be at first base. Hassan Kim will be batting seventh, and at second base, Austin Nola will be at catching and batting eighth, and then Adam Engel will be in center field tonight. And like I mentioned, Joe Musgrove doing the pitching for the Padres. Looking at Joe Musgrove, he's a five-pitch pitcher, fastball, changeup, cutter, slider, and a curve. They're all pretty effective. He's recently signed that extension. It's like $120 million or something like that. So congrats to him. He has struggled. So far this year, he has 2 starts. He is sporting a 10.80 ERA. He gave up 7 runs in his most recent outing. I don't take too much stock into that. It's his second start. He can't take too much stock into a guy's second start of the year. He's still probably ramping up, getting used to being back on the mound, pitching to major league hitting. Julio, on the other hand, is coming off his best start of the year. He went 7 innings, giving up no earned runs off, I believe, like 1 or 2 hits, striking out 10. Really good outing from Julio, and the Dodgers are going to need that tonight, because in the bullpen we used kind of all the big guns last night. Gratterall, Phillips, and Ferguson were all used last night. So realistically, none of them are available tonight. I think they might pitch Gratterall if need be. They've gone to the well with him on back-to-back nights a few times. And for the Padres, Josh Hader's still available, as is Nick Martinez. They're 2 stalwarts in the bullpen. So I expect if the game's close or the Padres are ahead, they'll utilize those 2. And so because of the fact, and because Joe Musgrove struggled early on this season, I think it's really important for the Dodgers to jump out early and often. Again, kind of similar to 2 nights ago, I think if it's a close game into the 9th, I very much favor the Padres. If the Dodgers are able to get a 3-4 run lead and then kick things out to the bullpen, hopefully off the back of a strong Julio performance, I can trust the bullpen with a 3 or 4 run lead. But without Ferguson or Phillips, really, 2 runs or less going into the 8th, 9th inning, it's a little dicey, in my opinion, at least for me. So, not that I don't trust, the Shelby Millers of the world, or Victor Gonzalez's. They're just less proven commodities. So, I'd feel more comfortable if they had a little bit more wiggle room going into those later innings. So, to recap really fast, I think a lead early, and hopefully a substantial lead early for the Dodgers, can kind of help them cruise to a win, because I think 4 or 5 runs can get cut down to 2 or 1 with the Padres lineup and what the Dodgers have in the bullpen tonight. Looking at the Dodgers lineup, one kind of strange omission is Michael Busch. We haven't seen him at all this series, and you kind of have to start asking yourself why he's up. He's a rookie. You want him to be seeing, if he's not getting everyday pitching at AAA, and it's not like he has anything to prove down there, you'd like to see him go up against some major league pitching. And this is kind of the only time he's going to have that opportunity, because when JD Martinez eventually comes back, it's really hard to see where they can slot in a Michael Busch. So, you look at the last few lineups, Max Muncy was DHing, and you had Chris Taylor at third base. Okay, well, like I mentioned, Michael Busch could have played third base. And CT could have kicked the shortstop, and, you lose Miguel Rojas's defense, but, Michael Busch gets a look at some major league pitching. And it's kind of the same thing tonight. I very much am fine with most of this lineup. Jason Hayward, I think, deserves to pretty much be in there against right-handers whenever. He's proven he can handle it. He's having a great year. He still continues to make really hard contact. So I don't mind that. But you look at David Peralta batting eighth and against a righty, and you kind of wonder, well, Michael Busch could play left field. You could hide him and some of those questions you have about his defense in left field, or at the same time, you could just throw Jason Hayward in left and let Michael Busch DH. This is one of those few opportunities that you can get Michael Busch's bat in the lineup without having to sacrifice any defense. And as I mentioned before, once JD Martinez comes back, that's not going to be an option. JD Martinez, they've shown they want him to be the everyday DH. So you can't, if you're going to put Michael Busch's bat in the lineup, you also now then have to deal with his defense. With that not being an issue today, kind of curious what he's doing on the lineup or in the lineup on the roster, at least on the major league roster. So just something to think about going into this game. Other than that, though, I like the lineups for both these teams. I think it's going to be a fun, really exciting Sunday night baseball game. I expect the atmosphere to be absolutely electric. Praying that Julio shoves tonight and the offense shows up today as well. And I'm really hoping and looking for a Dodger victory tonight. If you guys don't know, come and check back with the channel later. I'll have a series review and recap. And hope to see you guys then. See ya.